For years, I was doing parkrun completely wrong. I was obsessed, maybe even a little addicted to the feeling of a new personal best. I thought it was the only way to prove I was getting better, and that obsession, it's such an easy trap to fall into, isn't it? We live in a world of GPS watches and instant results where every single run can feel like a performance that's been graded. I learned the hard way that chasing time on a Saturday morning isn't just missing the point of parkrun. It can actually poison the sport you love. This is the story of how I broke free from that toxic mindset and found the joy I thought I'd lost. I still remember my first parkrun like it was yesterday. I'd been running on and off for a while, but with zero structure. A friend finally convinced me to go, promised me a friendly vibe and a coffee afterwards. I was so nervous, shuffling near the back, absolutely sure I was going to be the last person to finish the line. I crossed the line in around 30 minutes, gasping for air, but buzzing with a feeling I never had before. It was it was this incredible mix of exhaustion, relief, and pure joy. The volunteers cheered for me just as loud as they did for the first finisher. I felt like a rock star, and that was it. I was hooked. The next week I was back. I knew the course a little better, pushed a little harder, and bam, a new personal best. 29 minutes 20 seconds. Seeing that little PB next to my name on the results page was like a hit of dopamine. It was validation. It was proof that I was a real runner. Suddenly, Saturday mornings weren't a casual jog anymore. They were for the hunt for another PB. My entire week started to bend around this one single goal. I'd check the weather forecast obsessively. Is it too windy? Too hot? I'd study the course map, picking out the sharpest turns and the tiniest hills. My weekdays runs stopped being about enjoyment and became all about tactical preparation for Saturday's big effort. A 5 kilometer run became the yardstick for my entire week's success or failure. My mood on a Saturday afternoon depended completely on the numbers on my watch. A PB meant I was flying high, but if I missed it, even by a few seconds, a cloud of frustration would hang over me all day. Am I not training hard enough? Am I getting slower? Am I just bad at this? That's the sneaky thing about a PB addiction. It starts out as a healthy desire to improve, but it can quickly turn into a toxic relationship with running itself. Every new PB just raises the bar, making the next one that much harder to get. The pressure builds and builds week after week. The pure fun I felt at my first parkour was being squeezed out by this gnawing anxiety. I'd completely forgotten how to run just for the sake of moving, and being outside, all that mattered was the clock. The breaking point wasn't some big dramatic moment. It was more like a slow, grinding burnout of my body, my mind. First, my body started to protest. It turns out trying to race your heart out every single Saturday is completely unsustainable. It goes against the most important rule of training, recovery. My legs felt heavy all the time, and little aches that should have vanished in a day or two just didn't. I was ignoring all the warning signs my body was screaming at me. My race strategy, if you can call it that, became a predictable disaster. I kept I'd get swept up in the excitement at the start, go out way too fast, and my heart rate would redline in the first K. I'd be running a pace I knew I couldn't hold, but the ghost of my target time would be whispering in my ear, just hang on, just hang on. By the halfway mark, I'd be a mess, lungs on fire, my form falling apart. The last couple of K were just painful, desperate shuffle, a battle against my own body. I wasn't racing anymore, I was just surviving. I'd crossed the line defeated and promised myself next week would be different, but it never was. The mental toll was even worse. The joy was gone completely. Parkrun went from being release to a major source of stress. I'd show up at Parkrun with a knot of dread in my stomach. I stopped noticing all the things that made me fall in love with it in the first place. The friendly faces, the changing seasons, the incredible mix of people all sharing the same 5K. I was trapped in my own head that I was blind to the community all around me. I'd grab my finish token, mumble a thank you to the volunteer, scanning my barcode, and then immediately staring at my watch. Lost in a sea of splits and stats, I was physically there, but my mind was somewhere else entirely. I remember one Saturday so clearly. It was cold, rainy. I'd had a brutal week at work and was running on fumes. I knew deep down that I was in no shape to run hard, but the addiction was talking. I shot out as usual, reckless pace. By the third kilometer mark, I was done. My knee was aching, my lungs were burning, and every single step felt like climbing a mountain. I showed, I slowed to a walk, then just stopped as the other runners went past, some offering a kind word. You've got this. I just felt this crushing sense of failure. I limped the rest of the way, and and as walked back to my car, I saw the volunteers packing up, laughing together. I felt a pang of envy. They were getting the joy of friendship that I had lost. In that moment, I hated running. I was this close to quitting for good. It's a tough cycle to break. So many of us are driven by numbers and progress. If any of this is sounding familiar, if you ever felt the pressure to perform, I'd love it if you consider subscribing to the channel. My journey back from this low point is something I think a lot of runners can relate to, and I'll be sharing the exact strategies that helped me fall back in love with the sport. That miserable rainy Saturday was my rock bottom, but it was also my turning point. I realized my whole approach was just wrong. Parkrun isn't an elite race, it's a community event, a weekly party to celebrate movement for everyone. The clock is there, yeah, but it doesn't have to be the main character in your story. My biggest mistake was letting a number on a screen define my worth as a runner. So I decided to try an experiment. The next Saturday, I left my GPS watch at home. It felt weird, almost running naked. My only goal was to run by feel and not look at the time. I deliberately started near the back, settled into a pace where I could chat and just focus on my breathing. And for the first time in forever, I looked around. I saw the dew on the grass. I heard the birds. I high-fived a marshal and shouted encouragement to the runners. I finished happy, genuinely happy. I had no idea what my time was until the results email came through later. And for the first time, I didn't care. The experience itself was the reward. This was the beginning of my new relationship with Parkrun. I came up with a new game plan, designed not to chase a faster time, but to build healthier mindset. Rule 1. Reclaim Parkrun as a social run. Most weeks it's just an easy fun effort. It's a chance to catch up with friends, to run and talk without glancing at a watch. It's a run, not a race. This simple change took off all the pressure off. Rule 2. Get involved. I started volunteering, and let me tell you, standing on the other side of the tape is a revelation. When you're a marshal, you see the entire beautiful spectrum of parkrun community. You see the grit of every single face, from the gazellers at the front to the walkers at the back. You see parents pushing strollers, people overcoming health battles, first timers buzzing with that same nervous excitement I once had. Volunteering plugs you directly into the heart of parkrun. In fact, research from Sheffield Hallam University has shown that people who volunteer at Parkrun report an even greater increase in their happiness than those who only run or walk. Rule 3. Be static, not obsessive. This doesn't mean I've given up on getting faster. That desire to improve is great motivator,
But instead of desperately chasing a PB every week, I now treat it like a proper race attempt. I'll pick a specific park run once every couple of months, maybe on a flatter course, train for it, get a good night's sleep, and give it a real shot. But, and this is crucial, the other parts, the other weeks are for recovery, fun, and community. This approach is not only more sustainable, but it's actually made me a better runner. By letting my body actually recover and by building consistent, joyful running habit, the PBs have started to happen more naturally. They're a fun bonus, not the entire point. I was doing parkrun all wrong because I thought it was all about me, my time, my progress, my personal best. I was so focused on the personal that I completely forgot about the park and the run. The real magic of parkrun isn't about shaving a few seconds off your time. It's in the shared experience. It's in the collective buzz of hundreds of people starting their weekend in the best way possible. It's in well done you get from a volunteer when you feel like you've got nothing left. It's in the coffee and the stories that you share afterwards. By letting go of my obsession with the clock, I didn't become a worse runner. I became a happier one, a healthier one, and ultimately a more consistent one. I found that joy I thought I had lost, and my love for running is stronger now than ever. It's a weekly reminder that the best kind of success isn't always something you can measure in minutes and seconds. Sometimes it's just about showing up and being part of something bigger than yourself. What's your relationship with parkrun and personal bests? Have you ever felt this kind of pressure? I love to read about them, about your own experiences, so please share them in the comments below. Thanks for hanging around, and please subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out, and I will see you on the next one.